Ahead of the policy dialogue that FANRPAN has every year, this year we had a 2-day training for journalists that came from as far as Sierra Leone and Benin in West Africa, and then of course from across Southern Africa. We have a project in West and Central Africa now that's focused on, in collaboration with IFAD, which is focused on agriculture issues. So we thought it would be an ideal time to do a training for some of our journalists, as well as to do a Terra Viva with FANRPAN, whose work we respect, and we frequently use them as sources. And they produce a lot of, as you know, a lot of information and analysis that's extremely important to understanding what's really happening with agriculture in Africa. In terms of Copenhagen, it's an immensely complicated document that's going to be released with incredibly important ramifications for Africa. There are proposals, if the people who are circulating proposals are to be believed, the future of the continent in terms of food security, in terms of the livelihoods of the majority of people hangs in the balance. And we opened the training session with a questionnaire where it was revealed that the basic understanding of what climate change, which is what's to be negotiated, is not something that's common amongst journalists. And the people who came to this training are people who had expressed an interest in climate change. So for us, what's key to climate change is for people to for journalists to gain an understanding of the principles and the underlying science, to also gain an understanding of who the players are and how the decisions will be made, and what the implications of the different proposals will be, and to understand the effects that are already being felt, in order to communicate so that Africans of all kinds, urban, rural, rich, poor, civil society members, people who have no interest, who are not formally organized, can understand what's at stake and take action to defend their interests. In the sessions, it came out quite quickly that journalists often talk about issues, they often talk about policies that they don't understand. Because they go to the press conference, they write it down, and they have a deadline. So they duplicate, they parrot effectively. They communicate what was said like a recorder. So we want journalists to be able to understand what's said to them so that they can clarify and explain it to the audiences that need to understand it the most, whether that's policymakers or whether that's people, whether that's students, whether that's people at the ground, and whether that's rural people, I think, and that's particularly important. The decision that is endorsed at Copenhagen could be an incredible opportunity for African farmers, for African smallholders, or it could be a lost opportunity, which, you know, when an opportunity like this will come along again, I don't know.